Showtime.
It's about that time.
Let's go.
You're right where you need to be. This is GCOM Radio.
Hardest radio station on the planet. Yeah.
Powered by Lyfeblood.com.
We certified.
And hosted by Nova Phoenix and LK Mason.
Give them that flavor.
Ooh, a GCOM exclusive.
I hope you find a love that's better than mine. And I hope you find a girl that pleases you right. I hope we move along, get better with time. 'Cause I need some room to grow. And you need some time alone. 'Cause my love gets really cold. I just want someone to hold on me. They say love's a myth that I believe in fantasy. They say you're ridiculous, that you never aim to please me. Oh, right. I fight back, red eye to always see you from the other side. God, I'm in love again.
What it do?
It's GCOM Radio
I am one of the flyers.
on iHeartRadio.
Find a love that's better than mine. And I hope you find a girl that pleases you right. I hope we move along, get better with time. 'Cause I need some room to grow. And you need some time alone. 'Cause my love gets really cold. I just want someone to hold on me.
Oh yeah, did you like that? Did you like that song? That sweet, soulful, sultry sound of Sammy Soul. Yes, that is a lot of S's. Man, that was her song, I Hope. And we always gonna play Sammy Soul on the show. We played it before, but we have this bonus track feature where we actually do replay and keep artists in rotation. So if you may not listen to the show 20 episodes back, you will listen to it right now. So again, that was Sammy Soul. Love her sound, love her sweet voice. Yes, she's always gonna get play on this show. So I am your host, Nova Phoenix, and you are listening to GCOM Radio on iHeartRadio. Now, how was your week? Yeah, man. I hope it was beautiful and how should I say, life learning, all the lessons that you went through, good and bad, at work, at home, playing sports out in the park, yada, 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 all the events that you went to with family and friends. It's one more week of life and one more week of summer. We are coming to a close to summer. Look at that, man. Look at that. Usually, to me, the end of summer is right after Labor Day. Because for me, I only could speak for myself. The day after the West Indian Day Parade, it gets cool. It gets cool out of nowhere. I don't know why. And that to me is a sign that summer is over and fall welcometh the falleth season. Yeah, man. So, yeah, man, just one season closes, another one opens. And did you guys see your episode of Power? I know I did. And I was thinking about, I don't even have Stars as a channel, but you know, I turned Stars back on, reactivated the account because I got to see Power, the last season of Power. Who ain't gonna see it? To me, it's better than Empire. When I first started watching Empire, I was like, nah, I just didn't think of it as believable. The characters didn't play well with me. I thought it was just overreaching. But Power, man, for some reason, Power just, holds my attention, man. And I was digging the characters. I was digging the actors, and it's his last season. So big ups to everyone that partook, if that's a word, in the whole show Magic of Power. Big ups to 50 for getting that thing on. I know he had some rumblings with the Stars executives, and they wasn't giving him his just due, but he did his thing. That's what's up. And I think he got a couple more deals after that, after people were like, shut off, Stars, get out of here. I think the executives knew the power of 50 and his fan base and the people he reached, and they gave him some good extra deals. But that's what's up to 50. But I'm watching Power. I'm watching Power to the last end. And if and I'm gonna cut off Stars. If they come out with a better show and it catches my attention, maybe I'll keep it. But for right now, Power's the only thing I really watch on Stars. So right after it's done, it's over. All right. Let's get into the show. What are we talking about today? So I gotta put on let me put on the timer, so I don't really lose myself in this whole thing I do. Boom, time is on. All right, so what we got going? What is the first topic of the show? Yeah, man, the Amazon fires. The Amazon fires is terrible. Everybody knows by now that the Amazon fires have been burning for weeks, and not a peep came from media. When that whole thing went down with what happened in France, everybody was on it. The building, I forgot even the building right now. Everybody was on it. Billionaires came out donating money. Here you go. They need the Vatican. They didn't even need it, whatever. And people gave la. Now with the Amazon, it was burning for several weeks and not a peep from media. Now, the Amazon is important because it provides 20% of the oxygen that we need to breathe on this planet. Essentially, it is the Earth's lungs. All right. And it's very important to human beings. And a couple of celebrities, a number of them on IG's been sharing it. And they've been saying now it's important and it's a crime that they allowed the Amazon to burn. All right. And the Brazil's president is, I think it's Jair Bolsonaro. So after this big thing that's been kicking up by the celebrities, Bolsonaro finally is going to do something about putting out the fires that's been going on in the Amazon, and he's going to send armed forces to fight it. And it's sad. And there was another country, a neighboring country, that's already sent out a plane to douse the fires. And I forgot the name of that country. I can't remember. Maybe I'll remember it later. And he just totally he was like, yeah, whatever. The Brazilian president ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna do something about it. Plane putting out fires. Let's see if I can find it quickly. Country, Amazon. Let's see. It's not Brazil. It was another country. And I can't remember. Anyway, they said another country was hearing about the fires burning, and they sent their own plane over there, basically pushing Bolsonaro out the way and saying, forget you, bro. We're going to do our own thing. So anyway, the fires, I think to me, the Amazon fires is very telling on the state of mind that human beings are in currently around this world. And it's more about economic and corporate gain, because for a long time they've been wanting to get rid of the Amazon so they can make way for new, production, corporate interests, and a lot of the indigenous people that protect the Amazon, a lot of different other environmental organizations that do protect the Amazon has been fighting against this for a while. And, these fires happen, they're saying, because of climate change. Other people are saying that this may be some dastardly strategy by some corporate folks to let the fires burn or to start the fires and, clear out the Amazon land so they can have their own way with it. But again, regardless of what reason why the Amazon fires are burning, I think it's telling of who we are as people today. And we've detached ourselves from nature, and everything has been commodified. we're literally, and I said this on the previous show, that we're literally putting our arm for sale, ears for sale, our whole body for sale in order to make profit. And only till then, when we're about to die, is when we realize, maybe I needed my arm, maybe I needed my lungs and my liver and my intestines. And that's what essentially we're doing to the planet. We're ripping the planet apart. Now, the funny thing is, I was checking out some things on YouTube, and I bumped into a George Carlin comedy special years ago. I think it was in like the late 70s, early 80s. I think it was actually the mid 80s. And I love George Carlin. He has his finger on the pulse on what's going on in society. And he's basically like a dad wagging his finger at the world, whoever that tunes into him, to say, you are not as smart as you think you are. You've been following the system for so long, you forget you are a pawn in the game. And he can have that funny humor to it, but also teaching us a thing or two about the world we live in. And he essentially said he had a piece on the earth. And then, all these leftists talking about, we got to save the earth. We have to save the earth before it dies. And we're into saving the species. Oh, my God. The seashell, the little clam is going to die. It's last. There's only 20 left and we have to save it. So he says it's a bunch of self-important leftists that are carrying themselves on about saving species and saving the earth and all this business. And before you even think that that's some wild, crazy thing to think about, but just pause for a second and check this out. Way before human beings ever set foot on this planet, species have been coming and going. They have been living and dying. Nature tries something out with natural selection. Let me try this variation. Let me see if this works in this particular environment. And if that species of animal, insect, mammal, or bird, or whatever, however you want to, the different species of animal, they come, they live, and they die. Species come and they go. 20, 30, 40, 50 species. I don't know how much die in a month or in 3 months or a year, but that is the natural cycle of things. Species come and they go. Some work, some fit for its environment, and others die, like the dodo bird, okay? Whether it's because food ran out, there was some kind of massive extinction level event, say like the meteor hitting the planet, the dinosaurs dying, the predators waste their food supply and there's nothing more for them to eat, and they die. It happens. Species die. And we should get caught up on one particular species that we may know of, and we have recorded in our books or on a computer, and say, oh my God, it's down to its last 20 species. Look, listen, it will be okay. Because before we even had a language or put our language to books or started recording our own history, again, species has been living and dying. Now, in case, say, for instance, if it's a human interruption of a particular species like whales, then that's a different story. We're killing whales, and if it's something that we can control and check our own behavior, which is leading to the extinction of a particular species, yeah, we got to correct ourselves, because we just can't live on, go about our own thing, not thinking about our environment, the environment that we live in as animals. We are animals, and then all of a sudden we straight laid waste to everything and we can't even live. So we have to pay attention to how we are affecting our environment and the species that we coexist with. But the other interesting thing is, it's the Earth. How old is the Earth? How old is the Earth? Let us see here. And he made another good point, George Carlin. Let me see if I find it in my notes. Okay, the Earth is 4.5 billion years old. Billion years old. It has went through things. Some things we can't even fathom. If we put ourselves in a time machine and go back a billion years to know what this earth was like at the time. Okay? I'm talking about massive natural events,
volcanoes and when the earth did not have oxygen and plate tectonic shifting, and it was a violent place back in the day, many millions of years ago. The earth survived. It moved on. Even when the meteorite that killed the dinosaurs and smacked into the side of the planet, taking out the dinosaurs and vegetation, plant life, everything, and it laid waste. Eventually what happened? It grew back. The earth healed itself. Now, we should not get caught up in saying, save the earth. I do agree. We shouldn't be caught up in this save the earth thing, because the earth will live on until its last day. It'll live on for another 4.5 billion years. Let's say, in case, not unless like a huge meteor comes out of it and splits the earth in half or something like that. But until then, it'll live another 4.5 billion years. And you know what will happen to the human species before then? We will be gone. We will not be here. Whether it's because we left the planet, or we used up all its natural resources, or something happens, whether it's by our fault or not, we will be gone. We will be gone. Now, you should change the title from Save the Earth to Save Humanity. You know what I mean? That's the right verbiage we should use, because if we allow the Amazon to burn, and it costs us 20% of our oxygen that we breathe on this planet, and it's just not the Amazon. It's just not the fires burning in the Amazon that's the issue. But it's also the pollution of our rivers, our waters, our lakes, the waste we create, the carbon footprint that we're putting out there, the oil fracking, the use of plastics. When it's so sad when you see a what do you call it? Those little plastic containers, those plastic rings that keep together our little cans of soda together. When you see those rings, those plastic rings around the neck of a turtle, it's sad. And it shows us how much we're polluting this earth. And you see the amount of garbage that is piling up that gets washed up on our shores. Even when I'm driving down, say for instance, I'm driving down the Conduit. Oh my God, I said this to somebody before, right? When I'm driving down, I think it's the South Conduit. Either way, it's north of South Conduit in Brooklyn. When you're going from when Atlantic turns into the Conduit and you head off into Queens. Right there by Empire Boulevard, right there on the corner, there in the median, there's like a huge grassy knoll that's in between the North and South Conduit. Every time I drive down there, the amount of garbage that blows in the wind from people throwing their hamburger wrappers and dropping their soda cans, and dropping their cups, their paper cups, their plastic. The wax paper that they eat the pizza on, the paper plates is tossed onto the grassy knoll, the grassy patch. And it's so much garbage every time I pass by. It sickens me that we could be so nonchalant about it, and we toss it out our windows of our car going north and south, going into Brooklyn and Queens. And we're matter of fact, getting off at the train station or the bus, and we're walking across a grassy patch, and we have to walk through the garbage. Oh my God, it is disgusting. And this is just a microcosm of what we're doing to the planet. And we have to think about saving humanity, because if we do not control the garbage that we produce, the waste that we produce, because of modern society, we want to extract oil out of the ground, which is causing spillage, which is just massacring our ecology, massacring our environment. We have to think about these things, because eventually it's going to come and bite us in the ass. For the survival of the species, we have to get on it to solve the issues of our environment, to deal with what's going on in the Amazon, because it's going to come to a point where it's going to be too late, and we're going to choke ourselves into extinction. The planet will survive. Plastic is made out of oil, right? It'll just go under the hundreds and hundreds of miles of dirt. Earthquakes will swallow up the cities, right? We will have seasons and ice that will be miles thick, and it will become a part of the earth. If it hasn't dissolved yet, as far as the life of plastic, it will become a part of the earth, and the earth will survive, and it will be green and lush again, and some other species will take this planet. But as far as us is concerned, we will be dead. And the aliens that will come and arrive here on this planet, this little blue pearl that's floating and careening through the galaxy, right? This little blue pearl, and they're going to see all these ancient city structures from around the planet. From Russia to the United States to South America to Africa to India. You're going to see, wow, there was a civilization here that lasted a pretty long time, because they're on every inch of this planet. What happened to them? What happened? Yeah. What happened? What happened? What happened to us? And the planet moved on. It's green. The grass and the trees and the vines grew over these cities, these ancient cities. They are hundreds of thousands of years old, and these aliens are going to be like, wow, what took place here? Oh, well, we can terraform it. You know what I mean? So we got to, the new phrase is not to save the earth, but to save us. We got to save us. If we want to live and be able to go to Europa, we're going to Mars. We're planning to land something on Europa because they found water on Jupiter's planet. Okay. Under that thick ice of 10 to 15 miles, they have discovered that there's water underneath this ice cover, this ice shell on Europa. And they want to see if there's any life that lives on Europa. We're going to be a planetary species. We're going to go jumping from planet to planet in our solar system. And after that, we're going to go to other galaxies. If we want to see other galaxies, we have to learn how to take care of our home here, right on Earth, before we start thinking about what we're going to do on other planets. We got to take care of here first. How are we going to be thinking about terraforming other planets if we can't even take care of the planet that's taking care of us, that's giving us life as human beings? Come on, man. We got to start thinking about this, man. And I think about it every time when it comes to garbage. I do my recycle. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I'm some like green thumb environmentalist. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, instead of me, I've seen people toss garbage when there's a garbage can like 2 feet away, or say like 10 feet away. They'll throw garbage right on the floor. I'll hold on to my garbage and put it in my back pocket. Then I'll go upstairs and I'll throw it away. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to just have like a pizza, eat pizza in the street, drink my drink out of my bottle and toss it. And we have to have a better system of recycling. Are they, say for New York, because I'm from New York, does New York have a thorough, complete recycling program? They say they have recycling, but how effective is it? Are they just saying, yeah, we got recycling? Is that all a game, or do they really have serious recycling in New York and every other major urban center in the United States? Because as we know, more people are moving to these urban centers that are stuffing themselves into tighter quarters. 8-9 million people live in New York. Okay, there's even much more in China. 20 to 30 million people to cities. New York is nothing. It's small compared to Chinese urban centers. So we got to start thinking about this if we want the species to survive. Okay. All right. So we're going to go into our next song here. And it's a guy that I was wanting to play for a while. This group, were playing for a while, but there are other artists that, that came in, I double booked. So it was something that was my mistake, but they're coming around again. Their name is Miknna. These dudes coming out of Los Angeles. It's the end of the summer. So I guess this is kind of like a farewell song for 2019 summer. And this song they have is called Summertime Shine. It's a hot song. I'm loving it. I loved it since I heard it. You guys got to hear this. So check out Miknna out of Los Angeles. Summertime Shine. Yeah.
Feeling gets me time, I want to know the real you. Stars are very wide, to the moon in the skies. We can catch a move, it's on you. You can make your move, it's on you. Yeah. Clutch it, yeah, summer's on smash, blasting Nate Dogg, got the chrome on the dash, oh yeah. Ooh, I'm having a good time, swerving in and out while I'm ducking the one time. Sun peel back, recline and fall back like a ghost when I'm in it, it's tinted, it's all black. Old facts, no cap, I ball like a pro, check stats, check stubs on the bubbly. Out in California, all the Spanish girls love me. Get you to the moon, we can get a little cutty. Light panning out like a movie though. Driving around town eating sushi rolls. I be on the road, man, the truth be told. Everything right now very looky though. Don't mind where we go, have a doobie roll. We ain't run clean, running sushi.
Oh man,
Check this out.
we're going in with another one.
It's on.
GCOM Radio.
Summertime shine, I can't wait to feel you. Summertime shine, I want to know the real you. Everything gon' be alright. Yeah, ain't no thing, baby, take your time. Don't mind them, don't let them take your shine. When it rains and the sun don't shine, everything gon' be alright. Yeah, ain't no thing, baby, take your time. Don't mind them, don't let them take your shine. It's rendezvous, me and you this evening. Just leave your worries, baby, baby, we rendezvous, me and you this evening. Behind you. Summertime shine, top down with the heat on. Summertime shine, baby, kick your feet up. Summertime shine, I can't wait to feel you. Summertime shine, I want to love the real you.
This is GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com. Come join, be a Lyfer. Practice dollar power and build financial independence.
Yes, that was Miknna with Summertime Shine. Tight song, man. They got some more music. I'm hearing, I think if I'm correct, they said they're going to be dropping some more music on a regular basis. And I'm really liking how they're doing this new movement. And I got to give props. It started with Kanye, as far as I know it, putting out songs that top 7 songs, 8 songs, 10 songs. I feel it. You don't have to have a 20 song album. It's burnout for the listener. It's like, okay, I get where you're coming from. I love your music. To me, it works out for the artist better to really have a tight 6 songs and people really digging it and like really want more. Oh man, they're thirsting for more instead of dropping like a 20 song joint and it's a burnout. It's like, all right, bro. All right, I get it. This one, because even your best artists, you get their signature sound and it's like, all right, time to listen for something else after 45 an hour. You know, so I'm liking this style now. That's what's happening. How long it'll last, who knows? But anyway, let's get into the next topic show. So this thing, hoaxes on social media, man. What is going on with these hoaxes? Like, people are getting so caught up with all this internet business where it's fake and they just not even, it's just people keep on resharing this. I'm like, man, do people not see this? Hey, It is what it is. We're now an internet using species. This is how we communicate from around the world. It's not going anywhere. Couple of things that I've seen people get caught up with is like those little I see it on Facebook a lot. It's like people see if you don't share this, you'll be cursed or for 7 years, or they do these little answer question things and hey, you could do it too, forward it to your friends, and all of a sudden it's supposed to take on this viral thing, and it's stupid. Or a lot of what people do is they share old dated articles. Like you like, oh, what happened? I'm like, wait a second. Didn't he die like 5 years ago? And you scroll up to the top of the article and it's like 2012. I'm like, people are just and it also goes to show that not everybody knows everything at the same time. You know what I mean? Like if someone, a prominent figure dies, say for like Prince dies, like Prince is a different story. A lot of people know Prince. He dies, is going to make front page news. But then you have a lesser artist, a lesser known artist that, you know, people fairly liked, whatever case, and then the guy passes, and then people share, oh, that's good. And I'm thinking everybody knows this, but next thing you know, I have an FB friends like, oh my God, Ruby D died. I'm like, yeah, Ruby D died several years ago. I mean, how did you not know this? And then, and the other thing is they're not checking the date at the top of the article. So that's another well-known thing that I've seen people share without checking the information. And these conspiracy theories that, you know, oh my God, from, I don't know, from, it could be from a website called scratchass.com. Like, really? I mean, not to say that you should look at news at other alternative sources, but one key thing that you can do that I say in order, which leads me into my next thing, a part of this segment, is how do we make sure that we don't make hoaxes go viral? And as everybody knows, one of the most viral things that recently happened was this Instagram post. It was something that was shared by celebrities, and it's like an old type font saying for people that, you know, it says, I have this right here. It says, don't forget tomorrow starts a new Instagram rule where they can use your photos. Don't forget deadline today. It can be used in court cases and litigation against you. Everything you've ever posted becomes public from today, even messages that you have taken off. So it goes into this long thing, and I'm like, yeah, that's old. That's old. I've seen it before, but somehow it freaking catches wind and it becomes a viral thing again. So it makes me go into a couple of things that I've even taken on to myself. And they said it was this huge, I read a couple articles on it. There's psychological reasonings behind it. People don't really check the genuine source of these things, and they believe it from jump. And people usually believe celebrities first because, you know, celebrities are connected to so many people. It's an emotional thing. So if The Rock shares it, like, oh my God, this must be true. And then people don't have time to fact check and check to see if these things are genuine. And it's not to say that anybody's stupid. I've gotten caught out there. I myself, it happens to everybody. And then we start sharing it and it's like, oh man, it's not true. It happens. So one of the things that I have, three things that I've written down for myself to say, okay, what you can do to stop sharing viral things. Now, three things. One is research. Look for other news sources. If you see it on, say, scratchass.com, all right, this is interesting stuff. Why I shouldn't scratch my ass? I might get a boil, whatever. I might get an infection. All right, so let me check other sources. Let me check MD, whatever. Check variety of different sources if it's true. Because the only way you'll find out is cross-reference it. Because the one thing about the news media is some new information that comes out and it's fresh, and they are always competing with each other. And if ABC wants to get on top of it to beat CBS, they will do it. They will run out there. They don't even have to have all the information. They'll just grab onto whatever they need to grab onto, and just because they want to be the first ones out with this news. So always check multiple news sources to see if it's real. Okay. The other thing is ask the internet. Ask one or two of your friends. Hey, listen, did you hear about this particular story? Is this true? Did you hear it on it? Ask them, because again, they're gonna be like, yeah, nah, don't worry about it, don't do it. A lot of people want to grab onto that, hold on to this information. As soon as they see it, they press reset, and all of a sudden it goes out to everybody. But before you do that, ask a couple of other sources and possibly wait a day. Wait one day to see if the story is going to catch fire. See if you can cross-reference it with other things, and then once you feel that it's solid information, then you can share it. There are a lot of things that I quickly wanted to put out there and retweet or put on my IG or FB, and I purposely, because I got caught out there, I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit on this. I don't have to be the first one. Let me see how this develops. And then once it starts catching steam, and I say 5 or 6 different people are corroborating the information, okay, look, all right, I'll drop it and see how it goes from there. I don't care about the being the first with this information. And lastly, look at the data articles too, man. If you are going to share an article, check out the date, man. Check if it's a week old, 2 years old. Again, I've got caught out there. I'm about to share it because I wasn't privy to the knowledge. And then I'll say, oh, this came out 4 years ago. No, I'm not resharing that. Yeah, man, just check the dates of these articles. Some of this information is way old. And another thing is that happens is old information can catch fire again, regardless with the date. And all of a sudden it resurfaces and it's like telling us information that we already know. So check those dates. So research, ask 1 or 2 of your friends or 4 or 5 of them to cross-reference this information, and then look at the date, man. Look at the date. Those are it's not a foolproof thing, but I'm telling you, you can avoid a lot of those mishaps, and then feeling embarrassed that you shared some information that wasn't true. So yeah, man, that's what can help you out. But as far as these internet viral things, yeah, I would love to know who the person is that is going, I'm going to get people to share this, and it's going to be me, from me, oh, me. I don't know. Who's the person that does this? This is crazy. I can't spend my time trying to create something that nobody will know about, that only I will know. I'll do this, and it's going to go viral around the world, and it's going to be me, and it's my opportunity to take over the world. It's stupid, but nobody knows you made it. It's dumb. Yeah, man, check that stuff out, man, before you go about sharing nonsense, man. All right? So, all right, let's get into the next show. No, the next not show I'm talking about. The next 2 artists. So we have this artists, multiple, that are pretty dope that I found along the way. So this ISOINDIES, ISOINDIES. They're from Brooklyn, New York, and they got a dope song out called Time Heals. And right up behind this artist, or this group here, is Flizoshi, young brother from Austin, Texas. And his song is called Overtime. 2 dope songs. You'll love them. Check them out. It's ISOINDIES with Time Heals and Flizoshi with Overtime. All right, listen.
It's GCOM Radio. Here's a banger for your ears.
Now this the type of song you put on replay.
Living like Don Cheetos, sipping up on mojitos. Feel like a drug dealer selling kilos. Money come and go, I just reload. Eating dinner at Clio. Went to Punta Cana, almost drowned in the casino. Lost my wedding ring, good thing my wife didn't peep though. Cause we know, yeah, it would've been murder, she wrote. Never ego tripping, keep the soul like I'm Neo. Me and Dylan Josh, still a trio like the Migos. Summertime on the rooftop, chilling out in the boondocks. Playing tunes off a jukebox, sipping out of a juice box. Used to be in church with the tube sock. Saturday cartoon, Jimmy Neutron. My bed was a futon. Mama using Groupon, we was getting our hoop on. Busy had the two-tone, Jesus peace with the roof gone. Taking flights, I'm too flown. Visit my granny tombstone. Trainee family, I'm homegrown. Blowing O's out this ozone. Flow Frio is cold stone. Trying to reach a milestone. These hoes get the dial tone. Numbers rising like Dow Jones. Still bump that Jim Jones. I always stay 10 toes. Niggas quick to switch, no Nintendo. What you saying, yo? human. Remember days I used to go to church and take communion. Now I wake up early every morning for the union. Me and Bae just made 2 years on our union. Thankful for the blessing that the Lord just keep on doing. Had my permit for 5 years and had to renew it. 25 ain't still ain't got my license, what I'm doing. So fucking indecisive, I'm just trying to keep it righteous. I don't know why I am like this, I just wanna do what's right though. Should be getting me tight though, hit the blunt like it's nitro. We was never the type though, be a part of the hype though. It's ISO, got it covered like Geico. Fuck going viral, I'd rather listen to vinyls.
Now Ja playing for Jacksonville, rolling up to catch a fill. Youngest fiending to catch a kill, taking lines and they popping pills when shit be at a standstill. Life been going downhill, trying to live like I'm Grand Hill, but I ain't got a record deal. Gotta pay the electric bill, rent due, some other bills. Won't stop till my dreams fulfill. I'm real like $2 bills. I believe in God's will. Don't tell me my cuz mentally ill. Them doctors stupid for real. The truth is always revealed. We was just playing the field. That's why I walk with my shield. No Achilles, but we on your heels. And niggas know the drill, but they told me time heals. So till then, I'ma sit back and plot on these mills. You heard? ISO. Addict, conscious, you. Job bless. One time, nigga.
Let's start from the beginning.
There's many, but nothing like this internet radio show.
Yeah, keep my frequency.
GCOM Radio.
Y'all know what's up.
I've been working overtime. Get the bread, I know it's mine, yeah. I've been working overtime. Just to see you. I've been working overtime. Get the bread, I know it's mine, yeah. I've been working overtime. Just to see you. I just be cashing these checks. I'm on the road with my friends. No, I don't want some of the end. We be kissing in the bed, skipping all our dinner plans. You know I do anything for you. You just gotta tell me when. I gave you my heart, baby, be fragile with it. Don't know how we got this far, but let's run it back and spin it. So much time, wanna be here for the rest of my life. Just looking at you. I've been working overtime. Get the bread, I know it's mine, yeah. I've been working overtime. Just to see you. I've been working overtime. Get the bread, I know it's mine, yeah. I've been working overtime. Just to see you.
Listen up.
You're listening to GCOM Radio.
Just riding with you in the car, holding hands while you riding shotgun, and we looking at the stars. Kinda knew that this would happen, opened up from the start, and you walked right in, girl, you stole my heart. Know we had some tough times, but we made it through, and now the moments that we share are like a dream come true. When I pull up in the city, know that you'll be rocking with me, trying to love you to infinity. I've been working overtime. Get the bread, I know it's mine, yeah. I've been working overtime. Just to see you. I've been working overtime. Get the bread, I know it's mine, yeah. I've been working overtime. Just to see you. I've been working overtime. Get the bread, I know it's mine, yeah. I've been working overtime. Just to see you. I've been working overtime. Get the bread, I know it's mine, yeah. I've been working overtime. Just to see you.
All right, yeah, we are back. That was ISO Indies, Time Heals, or ISO Indies from Time Heals, and Flizoshi from Austin, Texas, with Overtime. You know, we always got to show love to some great artists. And those are two promising young men in this hip-hop industry. So we're going to continue with the third segment. And the third segment is, hey, before we continue with the third segment, you know what we need to do. Cue the music.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Around the world and right in your neighborhood, It's the news you need to know.
Will Ford Tesla get hit hard in the U.S.-China trade war? With the brewing trade war between China and the United States, two car companies are in the crossfire of these two major countries, Ford and Tesla. Ford currently exports its Lincoln MKC and Ford Explorer to China. Ford cars are taking a serious hit in the first 6 months of 2019 by falling 27% in the Asian market. It's currently working on building its cars in China in order to avoid the tariffs. Tesla is having a better turnout than Ford. It currently has doubled its exports to China. They are building a factory, a Gigafactory 3, in Shanghai to avoid tariffs as well. Last Friday, Trump ordered American companies to pull out of China. This would cause serious damage to Ford and Tesla, but people are unsure Trump has the authority to implement the rule. Trump retaliates to the media that he can in a tweet saying, "For all the fake news reporters that don't have a clue as to what the law is relative to presidential powers, China, etc., try looking at the Emergency Economic Powers Act of 1977. Case closed." Whatever. Newark is having a water supply problem. The EPA has raised concerns over Newark, New Jersey's lead water content issues in its drinking supply. This has caused many residents to switch to drinking bottled water. The mayor of Newark and New Jersey governor has stated bottled water would be available to residents starting last Sunday. This is eerily similar to Flint, Michigan water crisis, being that both cities are majority black and many live below the poverty line. Many have said the utility lines are a century old and need to be replaced. Mayor Baraka has called on Trump to assist in addressing the water issue. The cost would total to around $70 billion. The city is asking Newark residents to use bottled water and to boil it for 5 minutes before using it. However, advocates are arguing it's not enough. Natural Resource Defense Council and Newark Education Workers Caucus sued the city and state officials in 2018. City folks eventually agreed bottled water was the best alternative for the moment. "We are deeply troubled by the city's announcement on speaking on the lead issues," said NRDC Senior Director of Health and Food Eric Olson. He's hoping both NRDC, New Causes, and the city of Newark can address the serious public health crisis immediately. And that is the news you need to know. Into the third segment. But let's start this time. You know I got to go and start the time so I don't go over, you know. There you go. Okay, let's get started. All right. So what we got going on for the third segment is I was going through some music and people that have dropped albums in the month of August, and I was gonna post it on GCOM Radio on the IG account. That's GCOM_radio, and it just made me think: have we, or are we going through a golden age in hip hop? And some of the older heads gonna tell me, "Yo, no, what you talking about? Our golden era has passed and it'll never be again." Yeah, people talk about the golden era of hip hop that was like in the mid 80s, early 90s. But I'm talking about as far as the accessibility of music and what technology has offered artists of today as far as being open. Now, as far as what's dropping in August, we got a lot of artists. We got Rick Ross with Porter, Miami 2. That kind of dropped on August 9th. We got Ghostface is dropping later on. That's Ghostface Killers. We got Common dropping the album. It's Let Love in August 30th. Young Thugger, that dude, he dropped the album on the 16th. So much fun. ASAP Ferg, Floor Seats, he just dropped it. Currency, Hot August Nights, he just dropped it. Paul Wall, who knew Paul Wall was dropping the album? But Paul Wall, Frozen Face 2, he dropped it earlier this month. Missy Elliott, she dropped a 6-song EP, and I'm telling you, I'm loving this new trend right now with just a couple songs. Iconology, August 24th, last night. And Rhapsody drops an album called Eve, August 23rd, the night before. So, I'm going through all these artists, and I'm wondering, are the old heads just being nostalgic or just being, sour pussies with how hip-hop was back in the day compared to it now? But are we actually in the midst of going through, like, an artist revolution? A lot of people say the music sucks.
A lot of people say the music is good. It's all perspective. Glass half full, glass half empty sort of deal. And my thing is, I think if you kind of not pay attention to the conveyor belt of music that gets pumped out in traditional radio, and I kind of understand that. I get that, the business side of it. I get it. If you kind of take that in, but also find alternative sources of where you can find cool music and like forward-thinking music, artists that is pushing the envelope, they're out there. It has never been so open ever in music, not just hip-hop, but music in general. Now, is there a lot of mediocre stuff out there? Yes, there is a lot of mediocre stuff out there, but it's also a lot of dope artists too. So I think people, the sourpusses, got to stop acting like hip-hop does not have forward-thinking, edgy artists that's really challenging the ears and minds of hip-hop listeners. Now, you got Kendrick Lamar, you got Anderson .Paak, you got The Roots, and they're old, they're not like brand new, but they always like, whenever they put out joints, I'm always on it. I'm surprised that live music hasn't really taken a hold in hip hop as much after The Roots dropped. You think they would have had copycat groups like The Roots out already, but it's just The Roots. It's amazing to me why that didn't really take hold. So you got Travis Scott. I really like Travis Scott. Kanye West. Remove the effery that Kanye West be with this whole president thing. But the music, Kanye West, on point. You got J. Cole. You got Drake. Andre 3000. This dude is on his Prince thing. He dropped a long time ago. Now he's off of it. I don't even know what this dude doing lately. But he's talented. Every time he drops something, he's talented. Nicki Minaj, lyricist up the wazoo. She hasn't been lyrical lately, but she's ahead of her game. I would say Lauryn Hill, but Lauryn Hill having issues with showing up for shows. I don't think I ever go to a Lauryn Hill show. I love Lauryn, but I keep on hearing that she's showing up like 4 hours into her headline show. And I'm like, I am not standing up for 4 hours. Nah, I ain't doing it. I love you, Lauryn. I love you, but I hear you be tripping. Tyler, the Creator, dope. Chance the Rapper, dope. And a list of other artists too. I love Missy Elliott too. Of course, I'm always going to show her love. But are we going through our golden era right now? And if you don't want to call it golden era, let's say, can you say we're going through our enlightened era, or pick another precious metal? Who knows? I don't know. Call it the diamond era. But think of it in the past. Music was controlled by companies. Artists were complaining. They kept on getting shelved. They weren't ready. The A&Rs were kind of controlling them. The record executives were controlling them, and they were so just like drained and a shell of a person before they signed with a record deal. They were happy people when they signed a contract, but then all of a sudden they're not getting put out, and they're on the shelf for like 4 or 5 years because they're quote unquote not ready. And a lot of artists today are not ready, but this is what we're getting. I'm gonna get to that. So that was back in the day. Now you have like an open field of music now. Yesterday you had record labels. Now you have independent artists doing their independent releases. And you cannot hold them by not playing them on traditional radio, because you got a whole new medium called the internet that's exposing them to their fan base. So you think you could shut them down saying, no, they're not signed to a record label, we can't play them. You can't do it now because of the internet. You got social media. It's a wrap. You had big marketing budgets before. Now artists are just dropping joints everywhere. And all those artists that I mentioned earlier, I had no idea that ASAP just dropped his joint, or Paul Wall. Who knew? Now all of a sudden they just dropping albums. I mean, there's no. I remember it was huge marketing budgets, 125, 250, 750, doing these commercials and on MTV and in magazine covers and everywhere. They were everywhere, letting 3 months ahead of time they're about to drop the album. So it was this huge event thing. Now, blame Beyonce. Now artists are just dropping joints. Yo, I'm dropping it. It's out there. I mean, why not? You don't need a huge marketing budget. Now artists have their following on social media, and they got 3 million followers. All they got to do is drop one picture. Boom. Yo, my album's dropping in 2 days, and everybody's on it. So, see how things change so quickly? Now you have going from music stores. Remember Virgin Record Store? Remember Tower Records? Remember Beat Street? Remember what else record stores out at the time? Man, I'm trying to pull it out of the 80s, man. I can't remember right now. But yo, we remember them days, right? And then things started getting crazy. Albums was like $20. I was like, hell no, bro. I ain't buying no $20 CD, and there's only 2 songs on here I like. Now it's digital downloading. Now it's going on to from tapes to music streaming. Music streaming is the thing. I swear. You know how I feel about music streaming, y'all. It's kind of like the Elmer Fudd, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck scene. Everybody knows Bugs Bunny. It's when Elmer Fudd is trying to choose which one he wants to shoot because he's a hunter. And you have Bugs Bunny that's saying duck season. And you have Daffy Duck saying rabbit season. And then Bugs Bunny says duck season. And then Daffy Duck, rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season. And Bugs Bunny switches it up on Daffy, and he ends up getting the shot anyway. That's what I feel about music streaming. It's the same thing. We graduated to artists owning their masters, and now we introduce music streaming, and it's the old switcheroo. It's the old switcheroo. Sure, you can own your music, but you're not going to make no money off of it. But check this out. Check out this old Bugs Bunny scene and get a little chuckle out of it, and I'll continue on.
Duck season. Wabbit season. Duck season. Wabbit season. Duck season. Wabbit season. Wabbit season. Duck season. Wabbit season. I say it's duck season, and I say fire. Let's try that again. Okay, I'll start it this time. Right. Wabbit season. Duck season. Wabbit season. Wabbit season. Duck season. Fire!
You see what I mean? You see how it's funny as hell when you watch Bugs Bunny do it, but it's a similar thing with music streaming. It's just a new thing now with music streaming. They switched it up on you, and hey, you know what I mean? It's almost sad though, but it's also another note too I want to add here, because I was watching Joe Rogan. Love Joe Rogan, by the way, and he had Cornel West on the show, and they also added some insight. Well, Cornel West did it anyway. Added insight on how I feel that it was smoother to kind of trick people into the music streaming thing. Check this out. This little clip out.
But I mean, we live in a culture that's so corporatized, commercialized, marketized. It's all about money, 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 status, status, status. And you lose any deep sense of honor, of character. It's all about what appears to be the case. It's a culture of superficial spectacle. So it's all about image.
Yes.
You see?
Yeah.
And image is just some surface phenomena.
Well, I can't.
Yeah, man. Cornel West put it so straightforward. It's superficial spectacle, and if you could kind of romance people into music streaming by saying, "Oh my God, they streamed this much in the first week," or they're rated platinum on music streaming, I'm like, how do you quantify those numbers when it comes to streaming? And if they can have a person like Cardi B and they could plaster her face everywhere and say this message, it romanticizes and lulls people into the belief that music streaming is the new medium to disseminate music to the masses. Now, everybody's going to want to do that. Now, it's funny, again, you owned your masters. Now you graduated to owning your masters, but it's the switcheroo. It's like 3-card Monty where, okay, look, you can own your, and people, if you don't know who or what your masters are, how important it is to the artist, then I can't help you. You're going to have to look it up yourself. But now it's like artists have gotten to that point where they have claimed that. Now record labels are moving into music streaming, and it's like, well, this is a new thing, right? And you're not getting any money. You got your masters,
but you're not getting any money. It's slick, it's smooth, it's sly, and I can't even hate on it. But that's a whole nother deal, right? But the reason why I say that is because now the market is open. You're not controlled by the music executives anymore. You don't need a huge budget. You don't need to get a distribution deal so you could press up your album, your LP, your EP. You don't need that no more. Okay? You don't need any of the things. Now the power is in your hands. So isn't that essentially we're going through a revolution of technology and thought when it comes to hip hop? Because as much as people want to complain about the mumble rapping that's happening, I really don't hear them. I think the complaints has taken effect. I don't really hear the mumble rapping anymore. Remember when Migos first came out? Or when Thugger Thugger first came out, whoever those artists was down in ATL, and they was mumbling the shit out of their records? And now you don't even hear them doing it because people couldn't understand. So now it's open. Hip hop is open. You can listen to any artist out there that you like and connect with. As I gave that list before. Anderson .Paak, right? Dope Dude. All right, Tyler the Creator. You can pick any music you want. It's out there now. So aren't we technically going through a new revolution of business and artistry? And now we could, because there's so much that is available out there. Now, the bad thing about it is there's so much available out there. I don't know what to pick. Like, who is this person? You know what I mean? And I would love if some website, maybe it has to be me, can talk to some of these artists and say, okay, what's happening in the month of August, September, October, November, and let me put this list out, and let's just say this is what's tentatively set for your album dropping, so at least we get a heads up. You know what I mean? We don't need it to be extravagance and to spend all this money. Just a place for people to go to say, okay, in this list, X artist is gonna have this album ready for November. You know what I mean? Instead of just, I don't know, what? Like Paul Wall, I didn't know he dropped the joint. So anyway, aren't we going through our golden era, a second golden era of hip hop right now? Niggas being just messed with and convoluted so much with so much complaints and people talking mess and smack and rappers going against rappers, and we're just concentrating on the wrong things. Like recently, we just have Royce and 5'9" said some stuff because they was ripping on Vlad TV, ripping into Eminem, talking about nobody listen to Eminem in the streets. All right, nobody listen to Eminem in the streets, and they was roasting this dude Eminem. I personally like Eminem. I think he dope. I don't give a damn he white or whatever like that. That dude's to me is top 5. I'm sorry, dude is nasty. Top 5, man. All right, maybe I could say a top 8 to squeeze in some extra people. But yeah, he's in there. I can't. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't own any of his albums. But then again, I don't own a lot of albums, that I should. But to me, he's there. And a lot of other artists, whoever you connect with, they're there. You just got to pick them. And we got to get the right people and put them on stage on these platforms. Why on TV and internet and these well-marketed machines that are using these events? Like, yo, you can pick anything. So I think we should just stop complaining. We are going through a new revolution of music because of the internet, and you could pick anything. There just needs to be a little bit more focus and structure to me. And then once you have that guidance where you know where you can go and find artists that you like, the ones that are established and ones that are not established, and you know when their album's gonna drop, just that, I think it's a beautiful thing. And then once we work out as far as how the money is gonna go, so artists can get money, I'm talking about the majority of the artists in music business in general that have 100,000 streams. Because most artists are not A-listers. Not everybody's going to be Cardi B. Not everybody going to be Jay-Z. Not everybody's going to be Beyonce. Not everybody's going to be Taylor Swift. Not everybody's going to be Pink. Most artists are just Redman. And everybody know Redman's story. Redman never went multi-platinum, but he was consistent getting gold records. And he knows this and he said this. But everybody knows Redman and they give mad props to Redman. They love Redman. So in that sense, it's like, you don't need to be multi-platinum mega star out of this world. You know what I mean? You don't need to do that. You just need to do your music, find your market, find your fan base, and just roll with them. And you can make a living doing your music through them. And if you blow up to be on some Beyonce level business and you're going to be on, you know, some major MTV award, or whatever like that show, BET award, then that's all great. But, you know, it's all good. Shoot for the stars. But if you get around in the clouds, that's great. You know what I mean? So I think we are going through our current golden era right now. And the discussion is being had, like that list, that 50 rapper list. And to let you know, this is how much I get caught up in my own maleness. What's the name? Dropped that rapper list. I think it was Old Man Ebro on Hot 97. And he did his 50-person list, best rapper, MC, whatever like that. I was like, oh shit, and it was a big discussion. And then my homegirl shared on FB, here's a 50 MC female list. I was like, oh, my bad. Yeah, I didn't. I played myself. I should have been like, where the females at? So it was very male oriented. So we got to check ourselves, man. Fellas, we got to check ourselves. We can't forget the ladies that are in this game doing the hip hop thing, all right? So they got to be in the list as well. So anyway, that's my take on it. I think we're going through our current golden era, second golden era at this point. We just got to stop complaining and focus on the good stuff, all right? So, all right, so, folks, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for listening to me one more week. For all those that have been checking in, I do appreciate and listening to these dope artists out there. Sign up to Lyfeblood.com, man. Be a part of this community. I just got off the phone with some people at TEDx. Yeah, man. I'm trying to get on TED. I'm trying to be a speaker on TED. Let's see how that goes. Let's see if it works. Probably, hopefully, I could do something by December. I'll keep you guys plugged in. I think it'd be dope for Lyfeblood.com. I have another talk next week with some folks over at TEDx, an affiliate. I wouldn't say affiliate. They're not affiliated with them, but they do work with some people over there at TEDx. So let's see what happens, and then we can get into more of the bigger platform, Big Brother TED. All right, so this will be the last show of the summer, or the good weather summer, that is. The next show will be the 11th, September 11th or September 18th. One of them. We'll see. I just need to take a couple weeks off and get some other things done for the BI, for the business, and also for just personal things that I'm taking care of also. So I'll see you guys September 11th, September 18th. You know, I'll be in the streets, in the in-betweens on iHeartRadio platform, where I'll be dropping a little bit of knowledge here and there. So I won't be totally out of the loop. So when it drops, just listen to me right there. So thank you guys. Go to Lyfeblood.com, be a lifer, join. The power is within you to create this global community. And listen to those artists, go to them, check them out, buy their singles. They are all iTunes or other streaming sites. So again, thank you for listening, and I'm out of here. Peace.